Let's get sweaty.
Hi guys, welcome back to another Shenmue Dojo interview. Just a heads up before we get into the interview portion of today's video, there was a couple of little technical difficulties that unfortunately made us lose the last 5 minutes of the interview. But don't worry, at the end, me and Matt meet up and we go through the questions and answers that were missed in that small 5-minute chunk. So hope that you still enjoyed the interview all the same. I want to express my thanks again to Heiko and Felix from ININ Games, who obviously conducted the interview with us. It was a great experience, and yeah, really appreciate it. Enjoy the video, guys. Welcome to Gamescom. We are Shenmue Dojo. It's me, James. I'm here with Matt. We're interviewing Felix from ININ Games, and also Heiko's off to the side here, slightly out of shot. Hopefully you'll be able to hear him. It is quite noisy above us, so apologies if the sound quality is not all there. I've got these mics, hopefully it picks up something up. So, guys, how are you, essentially?
Great, bit tired. Gamescom always stressful, but yeah. Overall it's always fun to be here every year, and now with showing stuff like Shenmue, it's definitely been exciting for sure.
Cool. So it's like Wednesday. So to give a bit of context, you were here yesterday setting up?
Yes, yeah. So we arrived yesterday evening or yesterday afternoon and set up the booths and everything, and yeah. So it's always Tuesday. Last year we stayed until Monday because we did the consumer area. This time we can leave on Friday, so it's not quite as long, but yeah.
Still intense, isn't it?
It is. Sleep is definitely gonna happen afterwards. This is no time for sleeping or relaxing.
We're only sort of at the start of the week as well, so midweek, I guess.
Yeah.
So like Wednesday's your sort of most important day, would you say, for what you've shown today?
I think nowadays it's really like the same in the for press and everything. It's Wednesday to Friday.
Right.
Yeah, definitely all kind of similar for sure.
And are you enjoying Gamescom so far? Enjoying Gamescom?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's some of the big ones back again, like Nintendo, Blizzard. They have like their halls, so that's exciting. I think it's kind of on the come up in a way. So that's great. I think they needed like a few more years maybe after COVID and everything to rearrange and because they probably plan like years and years in advance. But now with them joining again, I think that's good for sure.
Yeah, it feels like it's blown up this year, doesn't it?
It feels busier.
Yeah, I think the numbers as well, they are quite good. Like in terms of tickets sold and everything, it's I think kind of some record numbers. From what I've heard,
especially for opening night live.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you managed to get in, Matt, but apparently it was jam packed, right?
5,000 people in there.
That's crazy.
Turning people away as well.
Yeah, I'd rather just watch it in a live stream than.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's that for me, but it looked great.
Cool. So you're showcasing a couple of games at your booth here in the business area. So we've got Simon the Sorcerer, which is also another title that's up and coming. We've got the art book here. This is part of the collector's edition. You were telling us. Really cool book. Definitely go support that and other ININ titles, guys. We've got to promote other things as well. But obviously, me and Matt were here for Shenmue. You guys just announced the Shenmue 3 Enhanced Edition, which is unveiling at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the project so far?
Yeah. So. We did past release with Wisenet, of course, Yu Suzuki's company now, Air Twister, and kind of went from there. We had the contact. Obviously, I mean, with Shenmue 3 being a great title, and we had the idea, and we approached them, and went from there. So it's been ongoing for a while, and I'm really happy to finally kind of show what we do and be able to announce it and present it and. So it's I don't know since when it has actually been going on, but it's just constant talks and keeping the relationship and so
that's good because it shows that Yu Suzuki and the Wisenet studio, they like trust the relationship that they had with you from Air Twister enough to this is like Yu Suzuki's baby really, into Shenmue, so to put that in the hands of ININ Games is a good sort of trust, I think.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, also with you guys and the whole community, it's been, we did Air Twister, then it was announced that we did take we got transferred the rights for like Shenmue 3 in general. So obviously there was the big question, obviously something is happening there, what is actually gonna happen and what are we gonna do? So in that sense, it's really been ongoing and so just keeping the relationship.
And like since the announcement, Matt, we've seen the numbers on Twitter have been crazy, haven't they?
Has obviously our social media's blown up over it. but has the sort of reaction around the community, around your social and everything, has that surprised ININ at all?
Yeah, it's been amazing for sure. The numbers are like through the roof compared to other stuff, and definitely very exciting. Even though we didn't have much to show, really, we ended up the quality is not quite where we wanted yet to show it. So just the announcement itself, announcing what we're gonna do, and the resonance has still been this great. So yeah, amazing from the community for sure. So very exciting to see that, and really motivates us to just continue working on the project. And so yeah, been definitely amazing.
It's good to hear. So you've been having appointments today, showcasing Sam and the Sorcerer, Shenmue 3 of course. What have been the initial impressions from the people that you've shown these projects to so far?
So far, lots of excitement, lots of people, wanting to write about it, support it, and want to know what's happening next. So lots of people came only for Shenmue. We had lots of questions on coming in after we did the announcement, even though it's like so short notice. It's usually, obviously, you would make appointments earlier, but since everything was a bit up in the air, if we can announce it and how it's actually going to work, and we still got this many questions in, and this many press dates, press meetings, and everyone's really excited about it, just want to see what's going to happen next, so been great for sure.
Cool. I don't know if you want to go straight into these community questions, but people have been sending us so many questions about, they want to know more. So obviously you've done the press release, which explains a lot of features. But Matt,
and I appreciate there'll be some things you can't answer for various reasons, so if you obviously can't answer, just tell us to go to mind our own business. So the first question's come out of community. Obviously it's coming to Steam, it's coming to Epic Games Store, which is great. Is it going to come over to GOG, Games on Galaxy, Good Old Games rather?
It's something we look at. I think it's. I'm not sure the exact release planning hasn't been fully figured out, but it's something that we recently actually started, kind of looking more into. So potentially, I don't really know yet. I genuinely can't. I don't know. It's not like something I withhold something, but we're looking into it for sure.
Brilliant.
Okay. Yeah. So you've mentioned Nintendo as the platform. Is that, are you like considering Switch 1 or Switch 2 or potentially both?
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's something I can't quite say. Yeah. We want to do it. I think that's a given. It's a new console, that it would be great. It's a matter of, currently you'd have to work with Nintendo, see what's possible in terms of releases, what you can do. So we'll look into it. It's something we consider, we want to do. So hopefully that's possible. Maybe a bit later. I would think it's more so a matter of time in a way, but I just don't know when exactly or how it's going to work out. If it's going to get easier and easier to release stuff on Switch 2, so at some point, for sure, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. So does that mean it's on Switch 1 currently, or? That's
for sure the plan, yes. So Switch 1 is something we looked at already and we want to do, so that's a given, and then just Switch checking if how it's going to go with Switch 2.
Okay. Yeah, because I know dev kits haven't come out. It's been quite difficult for people to get hold of things to develop for Switch 2, and it's a lot of companies are saying the same thing, aren't they, with Switch 2 at the moment, which is a shame, because actually there's a good piece of hardware there that people are really keen to get into. But
yeah, I mean, obviously some of the very big ones, they got stuff already, but outside of that, it's going to happen over time. It's going to get easier and easier, and then we'll just have to evaluate the situation every time and see, basically.
So let's go moving on. I guess the next question we've got is around the upgrade path. Obviously, a great idea. It's quite an industry standard these days, PS4 to PS5, and obviously you've got the version on PC. You can go up to what the new features for the enhanced version. Is there any sort of pricing in mind yet? And is there anything you can share with us on that?
I think so.
Yeah. We talked about 10 to 15 euro, but we have to reconsider everything in every detail. But this is what we are looking for.
It's quite fair, I think. That's good.
And in general, the pricing is not quite figured out yet, so we'll announce that when it's really figured out and ready. But
just what you're considering currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's also the technical part of it, because you have to find all that PS4 users on a technical base in order to give them a better price and all that stuff. So,
And that takes time and effort, doesn't it, as well, which again, it's quite, and you have to register it with Sony. That's a cost to do that as well, and that factors into everything as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it might be a bit complicated in some ways, but we will figure it out. I'm sure there's a way.
Sounds good. It's good that there's the option, I think, as well.
It's a great idea.
Yep. So you haven't really revealed like a release date. Do you have any plans to have the release this year, or is it potentially a next year thing?
It's not quite final yet. We are aiming currently towards winter 2016, winter like this coming winter.
Yeah.
Not quite set in stone. We're still checking. There's some development related stuff that we're looking into that kind of, where it depends. The release date depends on that, but around that time, it won't be too long, hopefully. For sure.
Okay.
Brilliant. So moving on, obviously. ININ do lots of physical games, which is fantastic. One question to come out of the community is all the DLC from the original Shenmue 3 release going to be on that physical game and also the digital downloads as well?
Yes. So the idea is to, and this might also affect the upgrade path thing, but the idea is to have a complete version basically. So this is going to be from a technical point of view, a new game released, right? Like it's going to be just a new listing, a new independently set up game, which includes all the content. So we want all the DLC content in there. It's going to be the complete edition, one game without the DLC, or like with the DLCs already included. There won't be extra DLCs, and this is all just going to be the one full enhanced edition.
That's good to hear. And well, I suppose that's a Switch 2 question, but would you consider, if you do make it on the Switch 2, to put all the data on a cartridge rather than one of those key? What is it on the Switch? It's like a key thing, isn't it?
Yes, there's a game key card thing.
Right.
But, and I'm sure you'll know this anyway, that Nintendo are very funny with what they allow people to have. So, for example, the cartridges on Switch 2, there's not a range of capacities, is there? It's 64 gigabyte, which are expensive to make, and that's a cost issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, the resonance to these download cartridges hasn't been great. So maybe there's gonna be a response by Nintendo. I don't know. We'd obviously prefer having it on cartridge for sure. Like that's not a question. So it's up to also kind of where we are at in development. Gonna see how much we can compile it down, what the file size is going to be. Because obviously with some of the features, with the 4K upscaling, it might be increased file sizes. I guess for Switch 1 doesn't matter, but for Switch 2 it has 4K, so then it's all kind of a multivariate equation, if you will, kind of having to figure out how and if it's feasible, but we definitely would like it, for sure.
And just another question on the DLC, any plans to include the Kickstarter exclusive stuff, or is that sort of off limits because that was then and this is now?
I don't think there's a plan.
It's not possible to do.
It might not be possible, because it's really hard to figure out who supported the Kickstarter, how we're going to do it. We either have to include everything, but then, it's not currently planned. Rather have that's why also I think it's in a way good that we have the existing version continuing to exist. Because you are still in there. If you back the Kickstarter, you're on the credits and whatever. So all that stuff might still that's still in there, and that's great. And then our version is kind of a fresh version in a way. So for those users, I mean, then we have the upgrade version. So they naturally would of course have the either PC or PS4 version. So then you'd keep that, and you can enjoy the new version with the upgrade. Right? But you can keep the old version for you to have been included, as a keepsake, so to say, maybe.
Right.
So hopefully
I like that you've got the optional toggles. That is a good idea. I like that. So you can maintain the original experience.
I mean that's been the philosophy in general for the whole thing, right? That even though with the enhanced version, either you can, if you have it already, can play the old version, or you can choose if any enhancements, if at all, which ones you want to use, right? So. Kind of have all these options available for the player.
Cool.
Right, so some sort of technical questions, I guess, now. Again, you may not be able to answer all of them. Obviously, the PlayStation 4 version still exists. Is there going to be a frame rate cap introduced to that version of the game, given there's a lot of stuttering in the original release?
I'm not quite sure yet. This is something, I mean, we generally going to look into optimization a lot. I mean, we are confident that it's going to run on Switch, which already, I think, if we manage to have that version run on Switch, be more optimized and better with frame rate, then it would be fine on PS4. So I'd say that yeah, it's as part of the general optimization. This hopefully would be fixed, and I would be fine. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So with the help of faster load times that you're applying with this release, and obviously the performance of next gen consoles since this release, there's sections in the game, essentially they're called no running zones, where it sort of forces Rio to walk, so that the rest of the next area has time to load. Will those be completely removed?
That's the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the all the optimization steps are upcoming. This is currently ongoing, so we're looking into that. But the plan is to have those removed. Yeah, kind of making the judgment how much. Yeah, since they were implemented for performance reasons. Yeah. If we can fully eliminate them, we will. For sure.
Very good. Very good.
I sort of guess a follow up to that as well. Obviously, one of the things you've introduced is more NPCs in Niao. Obviously, the original release, Niao was beautiful, but it didn't quite have that hustle and bustle around it. How's that going to work from a technical perspective, in that I guess you're not going to design new NPCs for it, so are you going to be using the old ones within it, and are you going to use sort of modern technology to get those into the game faster, essentially?
Basically, I mean, we as you say, we can't really probably model a bunch of new characters and NPCs, but there might be some options that are a bit easier, maybe recoloring the clothes, putting a different hue on it, stuff like that, but you generally would maybe just reuse the models that exist, but maybe there's some slight adjustments that we can make so it doesn't appear that there's copies at a glance. Right? Yeah. So if you look at it closely, maybe, but then at a glance it just appears more lively, and yeah. So.
Okay. Part of that question, someone was very specific. Okay. They wanted extra NPCs within restaurants, because as you go in a lot of shops and restaurants, there's plates of food and hot steam coming off them, but there's no one in them. Right. So if you can add extra NPCs to those rooms, it might add a little bit more to the immersion.
I'll put it on the list. Okay. Okay. Not quite into that detail yet, but I'll keep it in mind. That's good.
Okay, Brill. So,
what's user interface? Right. Again, you've talked about the streamlined user interface. One of them, and this comes from the community, is the combat tutorial. It's essentially a screen that says push buttons on it. Is that something that's going to be changed to maybe give a bit more details how that combat system works, or is that going to be too invasive to everything else around it?
Potentially. I don't think there's especially the UI UX redesign thing, there's nothing that we have fully fleshed out yet in a way that we looked into it, had a final version or anything yet. So it's something we want to do, and we look into it once we get to those phases, kind of go from there to see, once we kind of have some trial and error and see what might make sense in terms of adjustments, then we'll try a few things and go from there. So potentially, again.
Having the checklist for buying moves, I know you put that in there. That is an absolute, that. It's brilliant, because I know we used to have to write everything down, tracking, so it was for trophy tracking back in the day as well. So having that, you've got a little check or something on there, it just makes life so much easier.
These are just some of the smaller, more detailed things. This was an obvious one, was well known. So maybe we'll find some more slight tweaks that we can do, just some quality of life, some modernization. But this is the perfect example for the types of things we're looking for, right? Just that seem in hindsight quite obvious maybe, and just would seem natural to players, and have those in. Yeah, that's the goal, the general goal, and philosophy.
Cool. So a follow-up to the combat, sort of. A lot of people noticed a slight input delay when inputting moves. So obviously, a lot of the combinations are press A 4 times and then Rio does a move. So with the ongoing optimization features that you're including, will that be less noticeable? Would you imagine?
It's something we looked into. We might not be able to change it. I'll say that now. I'll be transparent. It's something we looked at, but might not be able to change. I can't really go into too much detail as to why, but yeah.
Okay, so because we're running out of time, shall we just rattle through these and just get yes or no answers?
We pick out the best questions we've got, and then...
Right, well, let's do that story one, because that's on everyone's...
So this is one of the big questions that's come out from the community. There's a mistranslation at the end of the game where, if anybody's watching this for the first time doesn't know the Shenmue story, they're on the boat, travelling, talking to Mr. Yuan, and he makes reference to the Cliff Temple, and Rio goes, "Oh, that's where we found the scroll." It's a mistranslation. It should be something along the lines of, "Oh, that's the picture of the Cliff Temple on the scroll," or something. Is that something that's going to be changed within the game?
Maybe.
Right.
Not quite sure.
And does that, I
potentially,
guess,
yes.
it brings a challenge in terms of then you've got voicing on it.
We have different languages, so it potentially, maybe also just only subtitles, I don't know, but it's something we are aware of, but we have to check the feasibility, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, guys, so we've just come out of the interview with ININ Games, Felix and Heiko. Amazing guys. Want to thank them up front here.
Like super transparent, gave some really good answers for us, and probably more than I thought we were going to get, actually.
Agreed, actually, and we were a really tight schedule, which you may have seen towards the end there. Some of the equipment died. Actually, what happened, funnily enough, Heiko, he sort of held up a United Games sign
to go and get his next appointment.
To go get his next appointment because we were running a little bit over, and there must have been a QR code on the side that he was holding, and it actually stopped the camera from working, and it thought it wanted to scan the QR code. But essentially, we ran for another 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, about that.
And we asked maybe 4 to 5 more questions. Matt has quickly jotted down the answers from, obviously, the answers that Felix gave us. So we're just going to run through them. Apologies that there's no footage to go with this, but believe that these questions were asked. You saw it just cut off.
I'm sure we can get them on footage again at some point. But just to go through them very quickly, I'm looking at my phone as we do this. So somebody asked about new trophies, and also specifically will some of the old trophies be changed. So what they said is obviously it's going to be a standalone release, it's separate SKU, which is great. So imagine you've got Shenmue 3, which is your old version of Shenmue 3 Enhanced. It's a new set of trophies. So within that, they are considering new trophies, which is great. And some of the frustrating trophies, like the 1,000 fish, are being considered to be reduced. There's no confirmation whether that's going to happen just yet or how that's going to look, but it's definitely something that's under consideration.
Yeah, and as part of that, I asked, does that mean that the games are going to appear separate on the dashboard? So obviously, Shenmue 3 originally will have its own icon, say if you're playing on PlayStation 5, and then the enhanced version will be a separate thing. And they confirmed that it was much easier to, especially when they're moving to other consoles like the Switch, Xbox, etc., just to have a fresh set of trophies, which means that it's going to be a fresh build of the game on your console. So that sort of confirms that you're going to split them into two.
Absolutely, yeah, that confirms that nicely. So the next one was around cloud saves on PC. There is the absolute intention with the new version to have cloud saves on Steam PC for sure. I don't know so much about Epic, but we'll see how that obviously pans out. So that is definitely in the works and being considered at this point.
Okay.
Photo mode was asked. It's being considered, but they were honest with us and said it's not a high priority at this point in time. They've got their priorities sort of scaled elsewhere, which I can understand, makes sense. So that's where it is. This one's an interesting question. There's a lot of clamour from the community for the original voice actors, like Eric Kelso, Liesl, etc., to come back. It has been considered, but they're very honest with us, actually from a contractual standpoint, from a standpoint of a lot of other things within the scope of the project, it may not happen, and it's probably likely not to happen. So while I wouldn't 100% rule it out, I would say probably 90-95% of the chances that's not going to happen, which I know some of the community will be disappointed in, but given the scope of the project and understanding everything around it, they're putting their energies into the other things that matter more.
Yeah.
Such as the stamina system, such as making sure it runs on Switch and all those sorts of things as well. So hopefully that you can see why they've made the decision they have. And then the last one, we asked a question around whether there's going to be sort of mangas, comics, or anything sort of.
Yeah, that was like a question I was asking, like, are they planning on producing more products outside of the game release? So I mentioned comics, mangas, etc. Just typical Shenmue additional merchandise as such. And they actually gave us a couple of samples of the Simon the Sorcerer art book and the CDs. And they did actually confirm that it's very likely that Shenmue 3 Enhanced Edition will get a collector's edition. So they're planning on doing a art book or a book of some sorts included with the collector's edition for Shenmue 3 Enhanced, along with the soundtrack perhaps.
Yeah, or perhaps something like that.
They didn't have any specific answers for us in terms of what type of product that they're planning on doing, but just rest assured that they are going to try and do some additional products, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like t-shirts or something like that as well, perhaps in the future.
So just under advisement, I think is the term to use. But yeah, again, sorry we didn't have that last bit of footage.
Yeah.
Some technical hiccups, but
it's always the case, right? I knew something was going to go wrong, The problem you've got is when you're recording something like an interview and you can't see the camera screen, you don't know what it's doing. So you've got to put your trust in. And then typically,
there you go again.
It's literally just stopped again. So luckily that wasn't a reshoot or anything in the interview, because that would have been really
embarrassing.
distraught. I'm going to have to look into the technology here, but we were just essentially just wrapping up, guys, and we just wanted to express our thanks and gratitude to both Felix and Heiko for having us for over half an hour. Actually, they went over
an hour
the allotted time slot, and they were very open, very transparent, very honest, which we, as Shenmue fans, we do appreciate.
And they're working really hard for the community. Obviously, they've been great with us. We're really pleased with where this is going. They're also stressful. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes here. They're aware of the community. They're aware of everything we're asking for, and they're trying their best to implement what they can and do what they can for the community. But again, thank you so much to ININ, Heiko and Felix for everything they're doing and for having us for so long.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all soon, guys. Take care.
Take care, guys.